Good morning, it's Paul Frazier. I'm here again in Bend, Oregon this morning. Absolutely beautiful day, which we've had about a week of snow off and on, and it's been kind of gray and all that. So it's nice to see a beautiful day. This is why I live in Bend, this kind of weather. So as you can see, maybe behind me, you can see in the background there that I'm at the new Caldera High School in the southeast corner of Bend. This main road I'm on here is 15th. So if you're looking at it on the map, just off of Knott Road going north is 15th Street. So I just want to point out what an amazing campus this is. I mean, there are college campuses that are nearly as gorgeous as this. They have not spared any expense in the design and the layout. As you drive all the way around this campus, because the road does go, you know, way back all the way around, you'll see the baseball fields, the football fields, the tennis courts, and it's like the baseball fields and the track facilities just like keep on going and keep on going. It's crazy. The campus is going to be beautiful right over here. And this is a significant thing, as I've talked about it in other videos. This southeast corner of Bend is really the place. I just got calls yesterday on investors looking at buying properties in this part of town. It's why I live over here in the Bridges. This is where the real upside potential in Bend is going to be for the next, foreseeable future, 10 to 20 years. There's so much land on this part of town, and with the new high school, now I haven't even brought up the new 40-acre park that's going right up the street here, and I can take you up there and show you that location as well, and I'll do that. I'm going to drive you around a little bit today, but I wanted to kind of just be boots on the ground and show you some significant things strategically that matter if you're looking at purchasing in Bend. Because most people are thinking about Bend, they're thinking either, oh, we want an acre, and because we're leaving the big city, or they want to be on the northwest part of town, because that's what people have come to Bend. And yeah, like Northwest Crossing area, it's really beautiful, but it's also very inflated, and so if you can afford to be there, great. But a lot of people are leaving that part of town and coming to the southeast corner because it's just the value is just hard to ignore. It's just really hard to ignore. And it's quieter over here. You feel like you're out in the country almost, but you're not. Right up here there's a new corridor, new overpass going in, and it's called the Murphy's bypass, and that goes up and over the railroad tracks. So there are several ways to get from right here to everywhere else in Bend, and it's getting easier and easier and more accessible because the city is just dumping millions of dollars into infrastructure in this part of town. So yeah, I'm sure I'm just making my case that it starts to all add up, and you start to think, wow, okay, maybe I should look at the southeast corner. So let me show you a few more locations. Okay, so just pulling onto 15th going north off of Knott Road, southeast corner Bend. The new high school is right on the left. To the right here is going to be a whole lot of new development. Polish Homes is going to be building homes in there. So that's coming in the near future, something to keep your eyes on as we're watching Bend grow and develop. So what I'm going to really be pointing out to you here, I just was talking about the high school, Caldera High School on the left, that's going to be opening this year, probably late in the fall, I believe. On the left-hand side of the road is where the park is going to be. There's a 40-acre park, and I'm going to show you a little bit about that, and then I'm going to show you a little bit more of the subdivision where I live, which is the Bridges, and it's got some nice facilities that really make it unique in Bend. So that's something that I want to point out to you. So we're coming up here on the roundabout, which is the entrance to the Bridges, and also is where the new Murphy bypass is. And I'm gonna pull around here so you can get a good look at what's going on with the construction right now. There's a great view of Mount Bachelor in the background, and there's the new bypass they're building. So you can see all the equipment and everything there. So that's going to go right over the railroad tracks, and it's going to make it super nice to get over to the old mill. So that's a big selling point for this location. And here now we're pulling into the Bridges. This is what, about 300 homes in here, fully completed now, just this last year. And on the left here, I'll show you the first phase. Homes are in this neighborhood, this part of it, mostly over 600. And the ones you're looking at directly right now are, you know, right on the canal, so they tend to get a little bit more. Right, we'd be in the 700s. Back here, nice quiet street, hardly no traffic at all. Very quiet. And you know, I don't know what it looks like on video, but typically, you know, these are not big lots, but you have miles of walking paths that go along the canal and around the neighborhood. And also, then you're going to have that 40-acre park right across the street. So there's something to consider, you know, as far as that goes. It's not about the backyard, although I have a nice backyard and I live in this neighborhood. And it's plenty of neighborhood backyard for us, even if we had children, I think. And some of these do, like the homes that sit on the corners have huge backyards. Some of them have a 4-car garage. And I would say those are the real sought-after properties. 3- and 4-car garages, of course, are really high on the list. And there's an example of a 4-car plus maybe 5-car right here. That's a 2,700 square foot model, 4 bedrooms. That's one of the bigger models in here. Those rarely come on the market, but once in a while you get lucky, but you got to be ready to go if you're going to get in on one of those. So just kind of wandering around the neighborhood, I thought you guys might like to just get, you know, a good look. I'm going to also show you where the clubhouse is at here. Now this is something you got to know about the Bridges. The amenities are amazing. For $130 a month, we get a full indoor basketball court, which is used for multiple, you know, sports. There it is right there. So that's indoor space is valuable because we have a winter season. And then you have a gorgeous pool that is a great place to meet your neighbors, and kids can play. And so this is the main clubhouse right here, and the basketball court on the right. Also a full gym and game room where there's pool tables, ping pong, and other games that, you know, you can take family into. Got a little kiddie park right there, right behind the kiddie pool. So now we're going south in the Bridges, right alongside 15th Street that we just drove up, as you can see right there. So just going down like 2 blocks is the high school. So strategically speaking, if you're a young family, this neighborhood is just beaming with you know, important features like that. And that's why that it's getting so much attention. And the upcoming subdivision, which I don't have a lot of info on it right at the moment, but you know, it'll be happening in the next year or two. The Bridges is it's going to be another one right next to it here, connected. So yeah, this is the Bridges, and on the front side here you'll notice like there are some townhouses, smaller units, and 1,450 square feet. There, you know, you can buy those in here, or on the back side is where you find the larger units. So up front it's the smaller units, and then, you know, mixed into the neighborhood you have the larger units, most of them toward the back side of the development. I'll show you. Also, you know, here's a good thing. Well, since I'm driving down the street, you notice on the right hand side here you've got snow piled up, a lot more snow than you do on the left hand side. These houses on the left-hand side are south facing. So you see they've got almost no snow on the yards. And on the right-hand side, we still have, you know, snow piled. And we've been a couple of days without snow, so this has melted down a little bit now. But you can see what a difference that can make. And here's some of the larger examples of some of the models in here. And like ones like this one, they have a huge back pie-shaped yard. Really big, really nice. So anyways, this is the Bridges. I think that's probably enough for now. You get a good feel for it. I'm gonna drive up and show you some other places around town. Okay, so another question I get a lot is, how far are you from the old mill from the Bridges? So right here, starting at the roundabout at the very entrance to the Bridges, going north on 15th Street, I'm going to drive you that direction. And I'll be honest with you, this is not my favorite example when people think about Bend. As far as this part of Bend, it's not as pretty or whatever, but like they have been adding sidewalks and really working on the infrastructure on 15th because of the new high school that's going in. So you know, it's not the most scenic, but you know, hey, it wasn't too many years ago. This was out in the country right here. You know, this is really developing, and it's something that, like, if we could have all bought properties over in Northwest Crossing 20 years ago, you know, we would all be sitting on, you know, a huge upside from those investments. And that's kind of where the southeast corner is right now. You know, it's really developing. It's at its beginning stages, really. Although, like the properties here to the left and the right, at this part on the street here, these are what we call the farm district. And, you know, you may be interested in something in these neighborhoods. They're, you know, an acre, a lot's half acre, 2 acres. But there's not a lot of that. You know, and so, you know, they're really at a premium, as very desirable, mostly built, you know, early 70s, 80s. So if it hasn't been remodeled, it will need to be, you know, updated. So here we are at Reed Market Road, and the roundabout here, I'm gonna take my third exit and go west. And right here to the left, you'll notice some new construction going on. That's another Palish Home subdivision. They made good use of this location for some kind of more lower price point properties. I would say those are great rental investment properties or first home buyer properties. Those prices are in the 400s, and who knows where they end up now with the market the way it is. But anyways, going west on Reed Market Road, here's the railroad tracks we're going over. And so once in a while you'll get caught right there at the train if it's coming across. It's not that often, but you know, it's usually when you really don't want to be sitting there. I guess that's the way it is every time you hit a train. It's just, it wasn't in your plan, you know, to have to be sitting there for a few minutes and waiting. I timed this several times, this drive from the Bridges, and it's depending on the stop sign, the stoplights, and depending on if you hit that train crossing, it's about 7-minute drive from the southeast corner to the Old Mill District. And I'm gonna just drive there now and give you a good idea of what that looks like. I ride this on my bike all the time, you know, during the summertime. It's a really nice bike ride because you can actually, they have a trail along the canal, which is right over here on the left. You probably won't be able to see it in the video, but just right here to the side of the road, it's there's a berm here, right there. That's the canal. That's seasonal, so it's not running in the winter time. But starting in about March, it'll start, and you can ride your bike or walk all the way to the old mill, which then you're connecting to the trails that go up the Deschutes, and it makes for a beautiful ride. Something that you'll have to check out if you come into the area. But we enjoy that as much as we also enjoy the mountain views with the snow. After we have a snowstorm, I just never get tired of the Whitecap Mountains there in the background. It probably doesn't show up very well, but if you zoom in on the video, you can see the Cascade Mountain Range, Mount Bachelor all the way to the left, and then the Three Sisters Broken Top still probably in your view. It's always awesome to see the fresh snow, the sun glazing off of that mountain. And we've had really good snow this year on the mountain. I mean, the skiing has been good, other than the real complaint has just been the management of the parking up at Mount Bachelor. You know, with COVID, it's been a challenge, right? Everybody's been in that situation, having to make the best of it. But the snow has been so good that really been a nightmare for the season ticket holders that, you know, haven't been able to always get parking because they've been controlling parking. You know, that's what they had to do. But I'm just saying, it's a reality of you know, dealing with this, with the ski resort. Okay, now crossing over Highway 97 right there, and heading now down into the Old Mill District, where, you know, you'll find shopping, restaurants right on the water. Well, there was a 16 theater movie theater. Now they have sold. I'm not sure what the future of that will be. I'm sure somebody will pick it up. But food, shopping, coffee. You've got the Deschutes River right here. So in the summertime, this is a hub of activity. It's always, you know, art and craft shows, fair, farmers markets, people floating the river, biking, hiking, and just enjoying the outdoor space. And I'll take you through there right now. So here we are in the old mill. So there we go, from southeast corner of the bridges to the Old Mill. Big deal, right? And this is kind of morning. There's a little bit more traffic. People are still getting out and going to work. But I'm gonna go ahead and drive you. Well, I'll drive you through the Old Mill main shopping area so you get a real good idea what that is. Because this is the kind of stuff that you don't always get to see. You know, especially me, I'm always just doing real estate videos. And I wanted to create some videos that really show you, you know, what's in Bend and what's it actually look like driving around. And you have to keep in mind that in the winter, they throw cinder rock down on the roads for traction. And, you know, so in a storm, the roads get a lot of cinder rock, and then the trucks come through, and the sweepers, to clean it up. And sometimes right after that, it can get kind of dusty, because until it rains or gets washed away, it can feel, you know, kind of dirty. So to the left here, you saw the flags there. That's kind of like, this is like the heart of the Old Mill, and you've got the river right there. Strictly Organic Coffee, Anthony's Restaurant, Via Piano Wine Tasting, GameStop, just miscellaneous shops, art, and you know, that kind of thing, touristy stuff. This is the old mill building here, turned now into an REI. They did a great job on it. Greg's Grill, they got a really nice fire pit out. We always go down here, sit around and enjoy food and drinks. And more fly shops, kitchen places, restaurants, Jimmy John's, also the Box Factory, Saxon's Jewelers, Avita, women's clothing, a lot of women's clothing, black and white. Evoke Winery right here on the right, outdoor seating, wine tasting. Athelis is a gym to the right. And I could show you a little more, but I'm gonna move on and show you a little bit more.